It's time for Solutions for Seniors to Be, here on WATD. Here to help make your golden years golden, offering guidance on programs and services available to you and your loved ones in your retirement. Now, here's your host, Chris Shea.
Good Sunday morning. I hope everyone's having a fantastic first week in February. It's hard to believe we're in month number 2, and things are hopefully progressing for you very nicely. And I know that things are going pretty well for me. Enjoying, getting done with the first month of the year. Recently, we've been bringing on a lot of people that have hard and fast solutions around real estate, around moving, around things like taking care of your physical well-being. But with all of the networking that I do and the people that I get to meet, there are times where I come across people that are a little different in what they do than what most people think are senior services. And one of them is a woman that I came across recently. Her name is Karen Ross, and she does something a little bit different than most of the people. So, Karen, I'm going to let you do a little introduction of yourself, and then we'll get into how you can potentially help seniors and why you do what you do. So, good Sunday morning.
Well, good Sunday morning to you, and thanks for inviting me on your show. I appreciate it. I have to just throw in, and I hope it's okay that I mention this, I had a radio show in Chicago for a number of years, and when I started that show, it was geared toward seniors, and it was titled Sensational Seniors. And that was several years ago, but it just shows what a vital audience our seniors are. Yeah. And they were several years ago. They continue to be, and that demographic, I understand, continues to grow every day.
Yes, and people tend to live longer now, and it is more important to plan for that and to have your well-being well taken care of, so you can enjoy that as long as you possibly can.
Well, and I help people do that through hypnotherapy. And I can imagine that a certain number of your listeners are rolling their eyes or making some kind of a facial expression.
Oh, no. I know that most of them are probably going, great, so she goes to the conferences and brings people up on stage and has people quack like a duck and walk around and do bodily sounds when people say a certain word. Yeah. Is that what you do?
Absolutely not. But you're right. That may be what some of your listeners are envisioning. And that's always a question I ask when I do presentations or I'm networking, and I ask people, what do you know about hypnosis? And that's either the answer, what you just described, or they'll say just what I've seen in movies or on TV. And both are accurate that they exist, but no, it is not at all what I do. What you described is stage hypnosis. I guess it has a place in the world for entertainment. I'm not crazy about it because, because what it does, it dismisses the real value of a technique that can be life-changing for people. So I don't venture into that world. I know it's there, but no, that's not at all what I do. So I am a certified hypnotherapist, and I'm also certified in personal coaching. So I work with some people who want a little bit of ongoing support as we move forward. But hypnosis can help people resolve issues very, very quickly. And in fact, my initial certification in hypnosis was with a program that was titled Rapid Transformational Therapy. And that's what attracted me. I was never crazy about the idea that people might have an issue and they go to a a psychologist, and they
Talk
end
about it
up
for 10 years.
Yeah, exactly. And I've talked to people who say they're still working on the same issues for years and years, and often with the same therapist. Now, I don't dismiss that there is, or I don't dispute that there's a place for therapy. My dad was a psychologist, so I'm not going to sit here and say it doesn't work or it shouldn't be. But
Yeah, you can't say your dad didn't live his life and do his entire thing for nothing.
Absolutely.
Right?
He too changed lives.
Yeah.
Very much so. But there are some issues that people have, and they don't want to take that approach. They want a faster approach, and hypnotherapy can accomplish that. And I guess some of the one of the main myths about hypnosis is that I would want to dispel right away is that somebody else is taking control of your mind. And that is another tremendous misconception. That's not at all the way it works.
Well, I would say that I fall into that camp as well. I've had people be like, "Oh, let's go to this therapy thing," and I'm like, "Yeah, I don't want to go anywhere near that because I don't want somebody to take over my mind and make me do something that I don't want to do." I've been told that that doesn't actually come into play. You even if you're quote unquote in a state of hypnosis, you're still in control. And so I've always thought that had something to do with the conscious and subconscious mind, but I'm not the expert on that. So is there a difference between the conscious and the subconscious mind that plays into this?
Oh, absolutely. And I'm glad you posed the question that way, because when people understand the distinction between their conscious mind and their subconscious mind, then hypnosis makes more sense to them. But our conscious mind is the one that's active all the time. I mean, it's talking to us all the time. And often it's not very kind. Sometimes it has some rather negative, it usually has negative messages.
Yeah, you usually tell yourself you can't do things.
Yeah. And lots of other messages. And the subconscious mind, though, is just there to serve us, to offer information, because everything that's happened to us, all of our beliefs, all of our ideas are stored in our subconscious mind. And with hypnosis, we use the subconscious mind to discover what are some beliefs that were formed, oh gosh, could have been when you were a toddler or a child or a teenager or whatever. And that belief no longer factors in, and it no longer supports one's life. And so the subconscious mind is there to give us information and then to receive new information that you want to change. So very simply, the process is going into the subconscious mind, finding those beliefs that are faulty and that no longer serve us. And I can't tell you how many times I've had a client say, well, wait a minute, I don't need to believe that anymore. That makes no sense. And
the world's flat. I don't know. I don't need to believe that anymore.
Well, right. And what was needed was just a professional to guide them to that information and that understanding. And then we can put new ideas that the person wants to enhance their life. We can install those new ideas in the subconscious mind. So that's a pretty simplistic explanation of the two minds and how hypnosis, in essence, uses them.
Right. So, and I'm sure people are still kind of rolling their eyes about this because it is not traditional Western medicine type things. And when things aren't traditional Western medicine, they kind of get poo-pooed, I guess, is probably a polite way of saying it. But what are some of the issues that you might might be able to help people with, particularly in the senior space, that
Sure.
that they're looking to change their lives and improve it for the last third of their life, that they might have been going through for multiple years.
Well, and that's often the case. And I'm first going to address your comment about conventional medicine. Medical institutions are now using and endorsing hypnosis. Mayo Clinic uses hypnosis, Cleveland Clinic. I'm sure there are many, many others, because it is being acknowledged and recognized as a very effective technique and process to help with pain control, healing, accelerate healing, sleep issues, and all of those three that I met. There are certainly others, but those are areas that I deal with and are most likely to impact the senior audience. You hear a lot about chronic pain, and
Yes.
Many people, they don't want to be on pain medication because that has other side effects that impact their lifestyle. And I can't guarantee that we're going to get rid of a certain pain, but I can guarantee that we can change one's perspective about it. We can almost always lessen it. And sometimes we do get rid of it. I had a client recently who is a senior. I think she's in her late 70s. I don't think she's hit 80 yet, but has suffered chronic pain for many, many years. And doctors have diagnosed her with fibromyalgia,
Ooh,
which is
tough
a
one.
condition that nobody really knows, I guess, exactly what causes it and often how to treat it.
Yeah.
But what we were able to do with her is lessen that pain, and also she views and experiences the pain differently now if it does come back. But when I checked in with her, it was kind of interesting. She made the comment, she said, I didn't want to report back to you right away because I wasn't sure this was really happening for me. And it is. And what she meant was she had much less pain than she had ever had. And consequently, she was able to do something. She's a very active woman. And many things she was holding back and saying, well, I can't really do that because I'll end up going into pain, and especially if it was later in the day. And so it really kind of opened up her life in many, many ways.
Yeah. Pain is well, I hate to use the word crippling, but it can be.
It can be.
Yeah, it can make people not literally do anything because of the pain that they feel.
Mm-hmm. Right. Another area, and pain can impact this, and that's sleep.
Yep.
And that's another area that tends to plague older people. And it could be pain or just kind of a change in one's system that just doesn't allow them to sleep as much, as long as they used to. And so that's another area that I've been able to help people. And the woman I mentioned a moment ago, her pain disrupted her sleep dramatically. And she said, I slept 6 hours. She said, that was fantastic. So we can help people make that shift. It can all be life-changing.
Yep. And we'll get into a little bit more of that in just a moment, but we're going to pause for a little commercial here.
Sounds good.
Are you fit to retire? I'm Chris Shea, financial advisor with BPS Financial Services in Marshfield. I work with clients to create a 100-day plan that can help get you started so that you can get the most out of your retirement. You've worked your whole life towards your goal of retirement. Let BPS Financial Services put together a plan that will help you enjoy your retirement. Find out how a 100-day plan tailored to you can help you get started in your retirement at fit2retire.com/Chris-Shea or call 781-733-5996. That's 781-733-5996. And now for my fast red disclosure, as this has been compliance approved.
Chris Shea is a registered representative offering securities and advisory services offered through Cetera Advisor Networks, LLC, member FINRA/SIPC, a broker-dealer and registered investment advisor. Cetera is under separate ownership from any other named entity. Located at 752 Ocean Street, Marshfield, Massachusetts, 02050.
That's 781-733-5996. Welcome back to Solutions for Seniors. And, as I said, I'm hoping to get people fit to retire. And coming across people, I, again, came across Karen Ross, and we had a discussion about how she might be able to help people get a little bit more fit. We talked a little about how you might be able to help people with their pain and with sleeping, but there's other aspects of health that that kick in there as well. What are some of the other areas that you can help out with there?
Well, you mentioned fitness, and to many people, they feel that involves shedding some weight.
Yep.
There are people who need to gain weight, and they have trouble too. We tend to forget about those people. Those of us who probably should shed a few pounds, we tend to forget there are people that struggle to gain weight, but they're out there too.
I've got an aunt that she's been 100 pounds at the most of her life, and she struggles to keep weight on. It's a challenge.
Isn't it something?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really quite something. And, I'd love the opportunity to work with somebody like that. Typically, the people who come to me do want to lose weight. But another client experience was a woman who had gained about 13 pounds since her husband had died about a year before. And she knew it was emotional eating, and she had tried diets, she tried working out more, and so on and so forth, and just was very frustrated that she couldn't lose. It's not a lot to lose, but she was a very small woman, so on her it showed. She could feel it in her clothes. She just felt heavier.
Wasn't comfortable. Yeah,
definitely. And it struck me that we were concentrating on losing weight, and when I kind of shifted the perspective about the weight, and I said, you already have experienced a lot of loss. So your subconscious mind is probably saying, no, I don't want to lose anything else. And created a sense of resistance in the body to lose more weight. So we switched it around, and we just started talking about becoming lighter, becoming fitter, to be more comfortable in clothes. We never used the word lose again, and just shifted the focus. And her weight started to balance out to the area where she wanted it again. Now, that is just an isolated situation, but I guess the point I would want to make there is that I really work very individually with people, and we find out what is the cause. Why have you held that weight for 20 years and can't seem to let it go?
Yeah,
so,
and that actually makes a lot of sense, because when people go through something that is emotional and there's a lot to it that weighs on them, they associate a lot of things with that, right? I mean, I know that I'm divorced, and when I was going through my divorce, I gained 10 pounds in a month because I ate Oreo cookies whenever I was going to have a big disagreement. I emotionally ate my cookies, and I put on literally, so I'd eat 3 or 4 Oreos, and I do that 4 or 5 times a day, and well, that's how you gain 10 pounds in a month pretty quickly. But it was because I was going to be going through something, and yeah, I can see the association of losing when you've already lost. You don't want to lose any more. That can be a big deal for people. Yeah.
So we find out, what is the underlying issue, and approach the situation in a personalized, individualized manner. But you also mentioned smoking, and we all know that doesn't promote health. And I help people become non-smokers. There again, I don't help them quit smoking. Nobody wants to be a quitter. So another thing about the subconscious mind is it does not make judgments. So when you say quit, it relates to quit. So you talk about quitting smoking. And if you're the type of person who is not a quitter, your subconscious mind is going to resist quitting smoking. And another thing about smoking, if you're an ex-smoker, there's always the potential to be tempted. I've heard ex-smokers say somebody will light up a cigarette and say, oh, that smells so good.
Because they have an emotional attachment to it.
Exactly. But if you're a non-smoker, that doesn't exist.
Right.
So I help people become non-smokers, and therefore that trigger, that smell, doesn't exist. It just isn't there anymore.
Yeah. So I know that you're not in the metro Boston area.
No.
Yeah, you're not here. You're in New York.
No, I'm in Chicago.
Chicago.
Yeah.
Even farther away in the Windy City.
Right. Yeah.
Can this work be done in person, or can it also be done virtually now?
Oh, I do all of my sessions on Zoom. And of course, it can be done in person. I personally don't practice that way. I think therapists who have included hypnosis in their practice and have always seen clients in person would have more of a tendency to do the hypnosis in person. I do it on Zoom. People like that because they can be comfortable in their own setting and they don't have to worry about driving someplace and all the other things that have to do with getting to someone's office. So yes, I do everything on Zoom. So I have clients all over the country and the potential of clients all over the world.
Yeah. So I know we talked about this when we met before. Why don't you give us a little experience around what it might potentially be like to go through this?
Okay. I don't know that it would. It's not necessarily actually an experience of hypnosis, but what it will do is help people understand their subconscious mind. So,
right.
Yeah, if people want to take maybe 2 minutes or so. Now, if you're driving and listening to Chris's show, don't do this.
Be safe.
If you're sitting at home in your office, wherever, I want you to be able to close your eyes and relax. So keep that in mind, that don't do this if you're driving. So just close your eyes for a moment, take a deep breath, and just relax. Just let your whole body let go. And I want you to picture standing at your kitchen counter. And on the counter is a large, plump, bright yellow lemon, a cutting board, and a very sharp knife. Now pick up the lemon with your non-dominant hand and place it on the cutting board. And when you pick up the lemon and squeeze it ever so slightly, you notice that it has some give, which tells you it's full of juice. So lay that lemon on the cutting board and with that very sharp knife, cut the lemon in half. And as you cut, juice from the lemon oozes out onto the cutting board. Now pick up one half of the lemon, hold it to your nose, and breathe in the fresh, pure scent of lemon. Now most, if not all of us, will notice saliva starting to form in the back of our mouth, even if we don't particularly like the smell of lemon. So now just set the lemon down on the cutting board, step back. You probably want to swallow. Take a deep breath and just open your eyes now. Now, we all know there was no lemon, no cutting board, no knife, and yet I'm willing to bet that 99, if not 100% of your listeners notice saliva forming in their mouth. Well, that is the power of the subconscious mind.
Yeah, it definitely made me relax, and your voice was very, very good in that. And yeah, I'm gonna have to get something to drink now.
Probably.
To get through that. But yeah, no, I can. When you envision that, and it shows that there's a way in which you're. So one of the things that I always thought was interesting was the question is, does the mind rule the body, or does the body rule the mind? And there are times when both are accurate and both sometimes work. And I think you just showed that there can be times where the mind definitely can not necessarily trick the body, but rule the body.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm a firm believer in that we have the power to heal ourselves, and we do that using the incredible power of our subconscious mind.
Yep, it's definitely something that I learned years ago. I did a different therapy thing and alternative education, and changed my perspective on how I view the world a little bit, and I continue to leverage that. But it had nothing to do with what you do, but it was an educational thing that kind of made me realize some of the things I told myself that weren't completely accurate and needed to be adjusted. But unfortunately, we are coming towards the end of our half hour here on Sunday morning. If someone was interested in learning more about how to smell lemons when there's no lemons in the room, or get in touch with you to help them with some of their other challenges, how might someone do that, Karen?
Oh, well, thanks for asking that. And I do make it very simple. My website is KarenRossNow.com. And people can go to the website, learn a little bit more about me and some of the things that I do. And then there is a place there where they can reach out to me either by email or to schedule a time to have a complimentary 30-minute conversation and talk about how hypnosis might change their life. Or they can email me directly at info@KarenRossNow.com.
All right, and I'm sure that you're on other social media platforms as well. Karen, Google Karen Ross Now, and you'll probably come up with how to get in touch. I know I'm connected with you on LinkedIn, so I know that you exist in these other mediums as well.
I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on Facebook. I don't spend a lot of time there, but people can find me through Facebook. But LinkedIn's probably easier if you don't want to email me directly.
Fantastic. All right. Well,
yeah.
This has been great, and I'm going to go get something to drink so I can wash down that lemon that I've got in my mouth. And I appreciate your time today, and I hope everyone has a fantastic Sunday and enjoys listening to The Car Guy coming up here on WATD Radio.
Well, Chris, thanks for inviting me. I enjoyed it.
Have a great one, Karen.
Thanks. You too.
I've been in the right place, but it must have been the wrong time. I'd have said the right thing, but it must have used the wrong line. I've been on the right trip, but I must have used the wrong car. Head is in a bad place, and I wonder what's good for. I've been in the right place, but it must have been the wrong time. My head is in a bad place, but I'm having such a good time. I've been running, trying to get hung up in my mind. Just got to give myself a good time. into